Hello, good evening and welcome. It is, I've got to think of the day of the week. It's Wednesday today. I haven't made my plaque yet to put in front of my camera here so I can remember the days of the week. So it's Wednesday this evening. I didn't join you on Sunday because we had some free tickets to the National Orchestra of Ukraine. And as many of you know, we hosted a family. So it was nice to be invited to have some free tickets. So it was a really nice evening out. And that's hubby and I, myself, and we had dinner beforehand. So really, really lovely. So nice to get out. So I've just got some messages coming in there. Get rid of those. Okay. Hopefully somebody will join me and let me know that you can hear me okay. Yes, Carol, you can hear me okay. I'm trying to keep my iPad with the volume off and the phone with the volume kind of like halfway up, three quarters of the way. So I'm just checking that out. So anyway, I'm going to be using the crackers tonight. And I'm going to be recycling because you know that I love recycling. So let's get down onto the table and I'm just going to talk you through a few bits. Okay, so in the annual catalogue, the cracker and treat die, this time of year, as we're coming up to the festive season, this is kind of a must-have. I've had a few people order that recently, expecting it really to be sold out or on back orders or something, but it's not. It's still available as of yesterday. So the cracker and treat box is really, really lovely. I'm going to open it up and just show you in case you haven't. Some people that have seen me recently know that it's know about it, and it's quite a good set here. Look, this whole piece is the cracker and treat die all on its own. Okay, so it's already got the score lines on here. Not only does it cut, but it gives you the crease lines where you need the creases to be. Okay, so that's the whole of the die, but there's actually 10 pieces in here, and you have all these other little layers that build up, and you can layer those on top of each other. You've got some hearts and some stars. Luckily they cut in threes, so if you want to put them around the ends of the crackers, you haven't got to cut as many because it goes in one go. And you've got a couple of nice little cute labels there, so you can tie those on the ends. Okay, so I'm going to just leave that out for the time being. I will be cutting some for you, but I just wanted to show, it's on page 163, and for the UK market it's £34 or €44. I'm not sure what it is in the States, but one of my guests I'm sure will pop it on there for you so you can see. On the chair. So I've got some different papers out. When it comes to the recycling bit, I'm going to go over to a different paper, but I am just going to show you some of these papers. We have seen these beautiful foils. Got some lovely foils in here, some of the different designs. This one here is the one I was going to use for you tonight. It's got some foiling on it. If I tilt that, you'll see the gold embossing on there. Hi, nice to see you, Jane. Linda, yep, lovely. But the foils, there are others in here as well. So this is part of a pack, so I have used a lot of them. This is one of my favourites because it's music notes. Okay, that's a lovely one, and you have seen me using that lately. I'm going to use this one for tonight. And then on the other side, we have the other ones. They are in the Joy of Noel set. And again, I've got a lot of these are missing because I've actually been using them. So, lots of bits in there getting muddled. Oh, and that's how the papers look when they're cut out with one of the tags. Just happened to fall out there, that was good. So these are the Joy of Noel page, in the double page in the mini catalogue. So I think I've got 5 here. There is another one in there. So those are these designs, and then those are on the reverse. These are more muted ones, but 2 of them have got music notes on again. So that's, I'm going to use this one for now. I have brought my machine over with me. So I'm going to let you know that when you have a brand new sheet of paper, let's just get a whole one out. Anything will do just to show you. So when you cut a whole sheet of paper for this, you need to cut it 5 by 6 inches. So hi Shaz, I quite often cut this down into half and then into 2 sixes. But if you just want to do your crackers, then if you do a 6 by 5 inches and then a 6, just cut a 6, and then do 5 inches and 5 inches, you could actually cut 2 inches off here beforehand at the bottom, because you'll be left then with one long strip and it'll be more useful to you. Okay, so that's just a note. You can get 4 out of here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, but you'll get a 2-inch strip left over. So I would say to cut a piece off first and then cut them down to 5 by 6. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to use this other one, so I'm going to put that aside for now, and I'm going to use this piece. It's a little bit more than 5 by 6, but it was ready at that size for me. So I'm going to go through a process. So I will have more to show you, but I've got something coming up that I'm going to be using them for, and I didn't want to spoil surprises for those seeing it. So we'll wait a couple of weeks for that. So this is the die. I'm putting it on one of the plates on here. It's getting a bit curly in there. And pop that on there. So it's all covered. If I get it to the edge, then I'll still have a little scrap here that I can use for something. Okay. And pop that in there and wheel that through. Okay. We're over the ridge and down the other side. Now I've been at a WI talk. Those in the UK will know what I'm talking about. A Women's Institute group. And I've been doing a talk with them. It's my second visit to them. I was with them earlier in the year, and they booked me for a Christmas project. So guess what? This is why I'm choosing this today, because they were using the dies. So they all made up a cracker. So when you get the die, the first thing I did was literally to go through and poke all these ends out. Okay, along there and along there. Okay, and then if you gently push on this middle piece here, it will just release from the die, all in one lovely piece. Really easy release. Okay, now it has all the score lines on here. I'm going to put this away. It has all the score lines on there to just literally build these up. So you're going to crease along all of the score lines, and it's on the middle of the diamond, as you can see. I've done half, and I'm going to do the other one from the other half. I'm going to bring this in now. I've got a smaller piece so that you can see me. And then the last one is here. Okay. So then when you come to make these up, the easiest way is the score line goes across the top of the diamond, the middle of the diamond, and the bottom of the diamond. So when you turn these over, all you are doing is just pushing these neatly along the edge of the diamond. Okay. So you've got a whole run like that. There's loads you can do with it, Carol. Yeah, there is lots you can do. And I have some projects for an upcoming retreat coming up. So shush if anyone's watching. It's one of my small ones I do here. So this is along that piece. I am going to grab a bone folder, and because these are the thicker papers. If they were standard ones, then I probably wouldn't, because the paper is obviously, it's thinner than card, so it doesn't need a lot of encouragement. So then I'm going to bend them backwards. So this is the first line, this is the second line coming through the middles of the diamonds. Okay, and they can just be pressed with your fingers, okay, because it's a weak point. And then, yes, you can put a small gift inside. In fact, I've got something I can show you. I'll just run and get that in a sec. And then this is the weakest score line, the least visible one. So you're going to turn these at the other end of the diamond, and it will just tease itself over there like so. So again, I'll just emphasize that a bit more. Okay, and the same with this one. So we've gone in from the bottom of the diamonds, out for the center of the diamonds, and now we're going in again along here. And I had 18 ladies doing this in a room today, and they all did very well, and they loved it. So when you open this out now, you will see as you elongate this, that all of those are nicely in position, and it looks really nice on here. Okay, so I'm going to now roll this round, and one section will overlap with the others. Okay, I don't think I've done this on a live. Apologies if I have, but I'm sure there'll be some people who haven't seen these being made. They are very popular. Like I say, I've had several people ordering these. I'm going to put some adhesive, some Tombow, on each flap. So a dot in the middle of the diamonds, okay, in there, and a little bit on the end, but then the most of it on the middle section. Don't get too near the edges because you don't want it to ooze out. Okay, there is some foiling on here, but it's not significant enough to stop it adhering. You've heard me say sometimes if I had a solid piece of foil, then I would make sure that I put tape on it. This isn't that bad to do. You've not seen it made up online. Oh, there you go, Linda. There we go. So I'm just very carefully lining this up so a whole of one section is over the whole of another section. Now it is 5 ways, so you can't lay this flat, but you can, because you've got a triangle there, but you can lay these bottom 2 flat. So you can squidge them together and bring them over, okay? You're lining those 2 up so that the Tombow gives you that manoeuvrability. So you need to slide, okay, oops, and there. And then these ones at the end will come over the ends like so. Okay, squeeze those together in the middle. Okay, take your time with it, and that is going to be, let's pop that one out the other way. There is our cracker. The fact that these have been die cut, these pieces here will all come together nicely in the middle. Okay, so those are really nice. Lip balm, absolutely. And chocolate Brussels sprouts. Now you know what? Yes, cat and dog treats. Excellent. The chocolate Brussels sprouts. David was in the one of the shops today in town, and he was talking to me about chocolate Brussels sprouts. Yeah, it's much easier than you think, Linda. It's not complicated whatsoever. Just bear with me a sec. And I need something I took today. Now I have got a lip balm in here, just to show you how, I mean you could get more than this in there, but just by comparison, that size, look what that's going to fit in there ideally, but there's a lot of room around it. So it will go in there, like so, but it'll rattle around. So you might find a small bottle of nail varnish as well, would go in there. Okay, so I am quite disappointed at the moment that we have not got any cherry cobbler ribbon. So what I've done today with the ladies is given them all sorts of baker's twine, some chunky baker's twine, and Jane, you are over on YouTube. Everybody else is on Facebook. I can see blue is Facebook and red is YouTube. So if you jump across onto Facebook, you'll find all the comments coming up easier. Okay, so I've been using up retired cherry cobbler, so it is a shame that we have to resort to that, but we have not got anything in the ribbon categories that is suitable. So I've just got a couple of lengths here. I'm just guessing at what I need. Okay, and I will tie those ends up just so you can see it finished. So right over left, I don't tie a knot on here because we want to be able to open them. Little loop round the corner and through the middle. Okay, and that will go on there nicely. Okay, and then the same the other end. So line them up so your bow is the same side, and that one comes on there, and a little loop there. I hope you can see me on the camera. Around there, around the top, and then through the middle. Okay, and there we go. Make sure your ends are nice and even, and there we go. Now you have all of these plaques and things you can put on here. You can double layer them, so you can have one on the bottom and then one on the top. You can put hearts around the ends. Depends how much fuss you want to go to, and they are absolutely adorable. But can I take you back a step now and show you these? Okay, now ignore the plains on the whites on the backs, but these pieces here, I was making a lot for a make and take for a show, Cecilia's show that we did in the beginning of October. It changed me over stupidly, oh bless. Yeah, so I made make and take. So I sat here and cut that one die out nearly 70 times, okay, with quarters of the papers. And all of these diamonds that come out, it wasn't until afterwards when I put these in, just popped them all out into a pot. I didn't want to get them over the floor, make the desk messy. I just popped them into a pot, and that was it. So it wasn't until I got to the shop, the show, that I realised there's actually 10 on each cracker. Now that makes an awful lot. So if I've made, I think I made at least 65. So that's 650 of these little diamonds. Okay. Now, I used a paper that was on clearance rack here in the UK, but you can see from here, anything would do. Okay, so that's those ones. I have a little cello bag, Ziploc like this, in every packet of paper that I have, that I put my scraps in now. So these were just for the solid red ones and the solid white ones that I've been using. Okay, so they're the plain ones. So they've been going in here. Well, you can imagine with 650, there was a few too many for me to think about. So I was popping them in a little dish. And these are all my scraps. Look at them all. So many. Okay, so what I then set about doing, these are with the other papers, so the ones that are on the clearance rack. These are Christmas Time is Here, and it's from 2019. And they're on our clearance rack. If any UK people are watching, they've been on, instead of £13, they've been on at £5.20. So terrific value. And in the current economy, I was helping customers make their finances go a little bit further. My pad of grid paper I've left in the car from today, so I haven't got that in there. So I'll just use this piece for now. Hopefully that will stay in place. So we've got rather a lot of these to think about. So I want to show you what I've been doing with it. It will work out quickly, but I want to just measure the middle of a piece of paper of card. I've cut this to the same size as a note card front, okay? And I'm going to mark it at halfway, okay? And mark the other side at halfway. And then through the middle, I just want to put some little dashes. I don't want to make a big thing of it. I just want to have some lines to go by. Okay, so you might not be able to see that on screen. There you go, the dash is just going across there. Okay, now if I mark the middle of this as well, so this is, oh, that's awkward, 12.8, so I want 6.4, thereabouts. So I'll put a little dot. Okay, scraps are so fun to use. I love my scraps. In case you hadn't all realised, I'm sure most of you do. So now we get to work. We're going to take an assortment of these and just play with them. So we're literally going to put in the first line a little bit of Tombow on the back, and I'm going to line the edges up of the diamond with the pencil marks, getting the point in the centre and pop it in there. Okay, so then the next one will come along. I don't want to have two papers side by side if I can help it. We have this pack that I'm using has 3 papers in it, but then you get twice as many. Yeah, you still get your 12 sheets, but you get 4 of 3 designs instead. So if you think about it, I've got the gold side, and the little gold side, and a big gold side, and then I've got the 3 backs. So the backs are that one, and had that one, and that one. So they're the three different patterns. Let me get a bigger piece for you. I want a bigger piece with a flower on it. Show you the patterns. Okay, here we go, that one. So, but the patterns don't matter. All I'm trying to show you is the fact that you use different patterns. Okay, there's a big pattern and a smaller pattern. Okay, so they're the 6. So the game really is to try and get different ones and not to have them too close together. So we're just leaving these a tiny little gap apart. Once I've got the first row in, it'll make perfect sense. So I'm just going to count up to make sure that I've got everything in there. I haven't got one of those, so we could put one of these on this end. So just spread them out a little bit. Okay, and we're just trying to fill that first row at the moment. So you can have a bit of the gold flower. So this is for everybody who's bought the cracker die. Needs to be conscious of this. It seems a bit time consuming, but it really isn't when you get the hang of it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Had those 3. We haven't got this one yet, have we? Let's take that one. I'll get some more out, so I've got lots to choose from. Probably end up my sleeve will knock them onto the floor. Okay, so I'm just keeping them in along that pencil line with the diamonds touching on that line. And then once we've got all of them, we're just going to play with the other patterns around it. Okay, so you're just going to go to the side of that, keep it on the lines, so I've got a line across there now, and now we'll start putting ones in between. So again, with the Tombow here in my little pot, I've even wrapped that in the pot for today. You're going to stagger these in between. So like here, I want one fairly in the middle here somewhere, so I'm going to stick that one in there, and I can gauge where the gap here and the gap there are going to be. Okay, so then I'm going to get these little berries. They can go upright or upside down, so you can vary them according to where the pattern is. So this is now having little berries in there. Okay, press that one down. It's a fluffy bit there. And just keep going really. So now we're going to work at the other patterns. This one here is a swirly, so I'll bring that here. You have got this pack, Linda. It's on the table with the rest of your order. So I think I'm seeing you next week, next Thursday. So that will be fine. And we've gone up there, so do I want one there, or I'll bring that one down to there, I think, on the next run. So just have fun playing. And this one can go over there. Just keep them apart, so just try not to have them touching each other. But the die just does the work for you. It is so super simple to take out of the machine, out of the die. So please have fun with these. Do get creative with them, and do use your waste. Okay, I know some people haven't got the patience to keep all the little tiny bits, but you can see mine have just been saved in that little dish, and they're doing quite nicely in there. But they need using up. You do need quite a few for each card. Okay, that one just slid a little bit. Then we want a plainer one in there. So I've got that one down below. So let's have another one of, maybe one like that. You never got the ones out on the table that you want. I want the dotty bits. That's a plain piece. There's some dots. There's some little gold dots. They'll go in there nicely. Yes, Linda, it's Thursday, that's it. There we go. So, oh, slipped. Tombow is good for sliding in place, but also let go of it when you leave your sticky fingers. Okay. So I'm thinking this one could come down there. Don't spend too much time deciding what's going to go where. It's not a rocket science. It's just trying to keep your patterns apart. Okay, so I haven't had one of these. I've got one there, so I can put one there. Just think what's not near it. Okay, so that's going to go in there. Greeny one there can go there. So it's quite therapeutic. It's something you could do on a lap tray in front of the telly. I've cut my panel slightly bigger. I've got my note cards and envelopes here. So if I take one of those out, I'll take the envelope out as well, because we could do a little bit in the corner. I'll remember to do that. I always forget to do my envelopes online. Or nearly always. So there's my card, but this is actually the same size. We're going to take it down a notch, okay? So it will, it will be a little bit easier. So the edges will be chopped off. Okay, so just keep going until it's filled. Okay, and then we tweak it a little bit at the end. We've got the little corners, I'll use parts of ones. Trim them off and then use them on another project. Like these little pieces in here. Okay, so I'm just going to carry on. That's in there, that can go there. Got one in there. What haven't I got? Which one? There's only 6 patterns. So on these papers, on your papers, there'll probably be more because it's a different makeup. But You love how it looks. Absolutely. It's just so easy. I find it quite therapeutic. But we're all different, aren't we? So, but when you've got this many, it was the fact that I cut them out in one go, and I had a big tub, that little dish, of loads of them, and I thought they're far too pretty. I've been saving these plain ones because I was thinking, yeah, I can do a harlequin. You know that. Think of the harlequin patterns, and I was thinking I could do those. So I was ready to do some playing. But hey, it went even better than I thought it would. So just onion tweezers on the back, in the hole, and it can be quite quick. This would be a project. I'm looking for something to take away on holiday next year. I'm bound to take a kit with me, but this is probably going to be the one that I might take to do. Because I could take little packets and that could just keep me busy for a few hours on a balcony somewhere. So where's that one going to get? No, I don't want too many of them at the moment. So I haven't used many of these. It certainly fills the time for my live, doesn't it? So we haven't had one of those up there. So just pick up a pattern, any pattern, whatever's there, and think, what hasn't it been near? Yeah, absolutely. They're fabulous. I love them. That one needs another one there, so I'll come back to that. I think that's David now going to bed. I can have this one here. I missed the pot for me glue. There we go. So that's going to come on the edge of that. Imagine that these points of the diamonds are side by side. So these pieces will be cut away, so don't worry about it. Just let go of your piece once it's stuck. Okay, make sure it's not stuck to the paper. And the same here with that one. You can agree it's just they're so far too pretty to be wasted. Okay. That one up there. No reds in that one, so cherry can go in there. Fir cone. And come down here. Looks very neat. Thank you. Somebody said you've got to have a lot of patience. You can see I've taught you how the easiest way to do it. Okay, you start off with that dotted line through the middle, which you now can't see. Okay, and it soon takes shape. If you keep one of the, I keep using them, and if you keep one of each of these, the 3 gold, so that's the 3 gold ones, and that's the 3 backs of them, then you'll be able to see what patterns you've got to play with. Okay, this one can come on the outside edge. It's not really something you can use with the adhesive sheets because you'd get all the sticky backs in the middle, so you that won't really work with this one. So I'm going to put some dots in the center. That one just coming over there. You will end up with some sticky edges. It's not an issue. Don't know what I've done with my little guillotine. It'll be here somewhere. Anyway, we'll carry on for now. The green one. Top there, top right. We're nearly there. It's not many to go. Okay, in there. Can go there. So when I get to these ones, I tend to just put the glue on the half that's going to be touching the card. Like that one. And the other half will be chopped off. One for here. I won't take the ones up there. There we go. over there. So we've got some fir cones there, but we've got different shapes there. Must let go of it when your fingers are sticky. Don't be too generous with your adhesive because you really don't need much. So here I've got some more. Turn that round and bring that way because we've got a bit of white with gold. So pop that one in there. Get that one in there. Yep. So just literally a line down the middle would probably be enough. Okay, now I've got down to just the edges, just these points. Now, what I tend to do with these ones, absolutely, Linda, if there's an easy way to do it, Sandra generally knows the tricks. I'm just going to go along and put a little dot in these gaps. Literally just a dot of adhesive, not too much. Just a dot and a dot. When you put a piece down on top of it, it will spread out. So that's these ones here. So I will take these ones because they're near and handy. So I'll put the red in the middle. So there's only going to be glue on that dot that's pushed out. Okay. There we go in that. Wispy bit. And there's a red one in there. Got the one there. I meant to have one of these half started so that you could see, so you didn't have to sit with me and watch all of them. There we go. That's the. So ideally, you wouldn't cut this straight away. I've got a dot on there. Look. You just leave them maybe a little while before you cut into them. But I'd also say when you get to cut this down, you're going to use a guillotine type rather than or a ruler with a blade. We don't really want to do the slidey cutter because the slidey cutters can rip, because if you get on an edge and it's going to rip as it goes past. So let's put a little dot on these ones. Turned it round because I'm working nearer to me then, and then we'll worry about the corners in a sec. Come on. There we go. Do the same thing on this side. Find where there's no fir cones, plonk that down. Find where there's no spotties and plonk that down. I said to someone today, plonk is a creative word. It is in my diary anyway, my vocabulary. One of the reds in there, and the other green. That one can come in there. Once we've got them all done, I probably aren't going to worry about the corners actually, because I'm going to cut it down a bit. Okay, so that is our piece there. So they can all go to one side now. Go back in the pot. I think I counted, you need kind of like 30 odd. So you'd need 3 crackers really to make one of these. Oh, there's one missing. What do we need? A red in there. That one in there. Just wipe the glue back again. I'm going to cut it down anyway. So while that's just setting a little bit, let those dry off a little bit. I'm going to put, this is the card, and this is the envelope. So I'm going to put just a few on the corner and do a similar type of thing really. So we are going to start a little bit blind with this one. But we can start that one in the corner touching. Okay, and then I will use the gold ones to start with because they're prettier. We want to decorate envelopes, don't we? So I'm going to do 2 side by side. It feels quite thick, but that is only one. One in the corner. Like so. Green one, to the side. Oh, it's that side. Put that one in there. Fill this little gap in here with one of the others. So a little dot in there. And what you can do with these, you could actually cut those through the middle so you get your triangle. Just remember to keep the shapes as you want the shapes. So that would be a shape to use on there in a sec. I'm going to put that this side. Just wipe a bit of that off. Don't want too much glue. So I'm going to put that one this side so it's on the edge of the card. Okay, and then this one could be in there. Then I've got two on there. That one could go up the top there. Just giving the envelope a little bit of the same detail so the theme is coming through. Okay, like that. I think that's enough. I'm just going to take this piece off the corner. So anything overhanging the envelope, we're going to snip those off. Okay, so that's those done. And we might even find that we can get this little piece into that hole. Okay, just on that top bit. Are you all still with me? There we go. So that is just then going to just be trimmed off again. There we go. So there's a little decoration on the envelope. When the glue dries, I will just dust those little wafers off there, the little odd side pieces. So I just need to find my little guillotine, which I had yesterday. It was over there. I might have to bring an old one out. It's a mystery. It's not visible, so I'm going to bring an old one out. I don't want to use a slidey one. If you use the slidey one, you're more likely to tear. This is a very, very old one. I've had this for donkey's years. And all I'm going to do is turn it over, and I'm going to cut this down just a little bit smaller than the pieces overhanging the edges. Okay, so you need to chomp it. Now, some of those pieces that were overhanging could be the fill-ins on another card. Okay, if you really want to be cost effective. I probably am not that anal, but these big pieces might be good. So I want my next layer down to just be that little, I'll show you a card here done, and I want to be just a little bit smaller. Okay, so I'm going to measure what I did before. Now I've got two straight edges. This is going to be, it's about 8.2 by 12 and a bit. So 8.2. Just measure that again. Yeah, about 8.3 I think. So 8.3 is going to come to there. Take that away. And then 12.2. So just taking those outer edges off. Now when I turn this over, okay, you will see how nicely that is finished. So on that corner there's a tiny little piece that's missing. Can you see it on there with my hand? So the other edges are all okay, they're fine, but that little tiny piece there, we need a little infill, and it can be one of these little offcuts. Let me take that one. If I just, it's going to be such a tiniest little amount, but it kind of conscious because I know there's white there. Okay, and then I would neatly cut that off. Okay, and then this way. There we go, and that just finishes off that little corner. So we treat it very gently. So that's simply going to go onto our card like so. I like the lead-in with the red at the top, so I'm going to put that there. And that's just going to go down flat exactly as it is. If you wanted to, you could make a matte layer behind it, but that is our card. So you've done all that detailed work, recycled, and we're ready to go. Okay. And place that in the centre. There we go. And if you don't want to risk smudging any of those, turn it over and rub it from the back. And then you'll be rubbing it and putting pressure on it, but not risk moving any of those around. And there we go. Okay. So there's your card and there's your envelope. So all I did on here was put a heat embossed greeting. So how are we for time? We can do a greeting, can't we? So move all of those out of the way. I have red scraps, cherry scraps. Let's see what we've got in here. That piece will do. So you know I like using these up. So I have my little dust buddy. Just going to wipe that along there, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment. So I have the sentiment that we use on the same card. So I've got the season's greetings on there. Always let your stamp relax onto your paper, because you can actually mould it and be quite non-straight, unstraight, uneven, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so I'm going to tap that over with the Versamark. And stamp it onto here. Now, another of my jobs I would really love to do is to go through a lot of my scraps, particularly the black ones, with the white embossing powder, and actually just have a session of just embossing loads of greetings. It gets through the scraps and it gives you sentiments ready to use when you need them. And I was going to do all sorts of greetings. So you've got like thanks, birthday. You could even do a whole load of red ones like this. You could do Christmas ones, different Christmas greetings. Okay, and just have a little pot ready. So if you're in a heat gun mode. Okay, so that's ready to go. I'll leave that there. Tip this back into the pot. And then instead of having to get the heat gun out and your pot powders and everything several times, you just have a little pot you can go to. So I'm going to hold that. I've got my heat gun plugged in. I'll be left-handed today. So I'm just going to let this heat up. It's not been switched on today, so as soon as it starts to turn gold, there we go. Can you see that changing? I'll tilt it to the camera. It's like magic, it just runs along. There you go. A heat tool is really, really hot. It's not like a hairdryer, it is really hot. Okay, and equally it's a little bit molten on here, so you want to allow it to cool for a little tiny bit, and then I'm going to just slice this down a little bit. I would normally grab that little mini trimmer, but I really can't see it anywhere on the tables, so I'm not sure where that's disappeared. I didn't take it with me, so I need to cut that. So I'm going to use that horrible old one, orange one. I've had it, not horrible, but I can't see any lines on it, so I can't see measurements. It's been very well used and abused over the years. So I've been doing Stampin' Up in January, it'll be 15 years, and I've had this long before that. So it's not done badly, has it? It comes out in emergencies. Okay, so I'm going to snip my banners. Okay, so that's into the centre, glasses. So into the centre and either side. We've only got a small gap on here. A snip there and a snip there. My scissors are a little bit sticky. They've had tape on them. And a little snip in there. Okay, and then either side again. So from the corner to the middle and from the corner to the middle. There we go, and they're all gone. Straighten that again. Then we'll bring our card back, and we want some dimensionals. here. So with a banner like this, it's a very simple card. You've put the work in here. It's a very simple, what called clean and simple card. Okay, so I put enough dimensionals on your sentiment. It's a long sentiment. We don't want it to fall off, so I might even be inclined to do 4 on here. Okay, and with them on, all we're going to do is pop this through the middle of the card. You don't need to have anything more than that. Nice and simple. Okay, and just get that lined up. And there's your card. The other thing you can do, you can actually have vertical as well. So I'm looking at diamonds here, but you could also have that angle. Imagine, you can't, if I don't hold it so you can see the greeting like that, you could actually just see those diamonds on their sides, and that would be another interesting pattern. So you've got a couple of different ways there, okay? If I'd got a vertical greeting, or you could put the greeting that way on, okay? If I'd have thought about it, I could have cut that in half and had seasons and greetings staggered, okay? Just another suggestion for you. But anyway, I hope you like those, and there's the envelope with the card. Just to give it some detail, just a little bit on there like so. Okay, so I think it's gone quiet on the comments. I think I've lost some people this evening. I'm just going to bring you back to me. Take that off and bring you over. There we go. And I hope you enjoyed that. It's a beautiful way of using up all those scraps. Okay, and you know I'm scrap queen. Okay, so take care. I will see you. Oh, hi, Jean. I will see you again on Sunday. Okay, so Sunday coming up. We're also doing over on the Global Inspiration Stamp Team group. If you're a customer of mine and you've purchased, you're welcome to join that group. Just reach out if you're not already in there. And you can see all the presentations for the different 12 days of Christmas. My day is the 12th day. I am on Sunday. Okay, so I will be in there on Sunday doing some other little presentations as well. So feel free to come over and join me, and I will see you then. Okay, but I'll still be live as normal at 8 o'clock in the evening on here. Okay, on my channel. Okay, so say cheerio for now and take care, stay safe.